Leeds 1, Liverpool 6. Yes, Liverpool Football Club winning a game away from home and doing it in style. Trent Alexander-Arnold pushed once again into that inverted fullback midfield role and absolutely bossing it. Absolutely. I'm a regular viewers of Redmond over the last 13 years. I'm not often a man short of a word or two, but I do feel like I lack the superlatives to describe how much I enjoyed Trent's performance from about the 35-minute mark against Arsenal all the way through to the 96-minute mark in this game against Leeds. He was majestic, brilliant, and very, very encouraging for things moving forward. Early days, early steps, but this feels like this is what Trent was almost promised in the summer, and we're finally seeing it laid out in front of us. He looked like a world-class DM, a world-class, cultured, creative midfielder. He pulled the strings, he orchestrated the game. And I said during the watch-along, I know he's been touted as a future Liverpool captain. I never truly saw it from traditional right-back. I could see how he could do that. And look, I know there's a temptation to get carried away a little bit. We haven't seen Liverpool win a game of football in over a month. And that stings and that hurts. And what we needed to do was prove that what we found against Arsenal was our spirit, was our backbone, was our fight, was our determination. And it wasn't just a one-off thing. It wasn't just that you need an Arsenal manager or Granit Xhaka to do something stupid in order to give yourself a kick up the arse. It was there in the side, and they needed to continue to move on with that. 8 games left in the league season. No idea where they're going to finish. I still believe they can finish in the top 4 because I don't see any reason why not to, while so many mad things have happened. Stranger things have certainly happened. It's a big ask to put 9 wins back-to-back down, to go 10 unbeaten. But got to take it one game at a time. And I thought Liverpool were just great across the board. Players that are coming for criticism from areas of the fan base, which again I always think is a bit mad when people single out individuals. Oh, well and good saying Liverpool have been crap. Liverpool have been crap by their own high standards. They have been crap this season. They really have. I'm not the only one to say it. You're not. Everyone's saying that. But when you single out players for abuse, and again, don't just mean he had a bad game. I don't think he's it's the standard. I mean, and I'm talking about Curtis Jones and I'm talking about Diogo Jota. Both were magnificent tonight. Jota really, really struggled at the start of the game. He really did. And again, then people are tying back on, he hasn't scored a goal for over a year. Has he got it? And then we have to make these cast iron judgments on things when players work things out in game. I thought Jota worked things out brilliantly. And again, that's another assist for him. It's goals for him. And again, in Curtis Jones' instance, he's had so many injury problems. He's still at that age where he's got so much more development to come. And even if he only goes on to become a solid squad player, and by the way, if you're playing at that in those kind of games in the Premier League and you're playing for Liverpool, you're good enough. We made this point on a show on Thursday Night Pint the other week. He's made 80 odd appearances for Liverpool. James Pearce made this point. Not many footballers and certainly not many academy graduates actually get to that kind of level. And they certainly haven't done it in my time in the Premier League era. There's not many who've done it, and certainly not at the level that Liverpool have been at. And we do, I think, get overcritical of footballers sometimes. Sometimes we give them a bit of a pass, but I would always err on giving them a pass rather than being hypercritical, because there are players. They go out there, they want to play for that shit, and particularly homegrown lads, for whom it means even more. They get to be us, our advocates on the pitch. That goes for Trent, that goes for Curtis Jones, and it goes for Harvey Elliott as well. All will have their roles to play in the future. And when you see performances like that from Curtis, it does give you hope that he can do more, that he can make a name for himself, he can make a career at Liverpool. Mission 1, make a career for yourself. If you can go above and beyond that, great. But there's no shame, I said it before, no shame in being a Darren Fletcher or a John O'Shea, being a useful squad member in a brilliant squad that wins things. But yeah, very encouraging steps back after an injury-wrought 18 months for Curtis Jones, and hopefully he gets more of those opportunities. Diogo Jota back in the goals. Mentioned this before. I think since he last scored a goal, he's got 12 assists, which is, I think, is the second most assists of any Liverpool player in that time. It was a stat floating around from Andrew Beasley the other day. Fine. But we needed him to get in the goals, and that second goal is just, it's a bit of a scuffer, but it's a pure instinctive strike. and he's got that in his locker, and he's worked for that. He's had to do the hard yards these last couple of weeks, and it's great to see the dividends paying off for him. Cody Gakpo linking the attack brilliantly. Mo Salah taking his goals really well. Denied a hat-trick by a marginal offside for Virgil van Dijk in the build-up as well. Really good. Konate, look, there's one mistake at the back that gives Leeds a goal. It's Konate. He gets caught in possession. That's something that needs to be worked on in his game. He does need to be a little bit sharper, but by and large, other than that, I thought he was really, really good. Solid performance from Fabinho. I'm going to be doing the player rankings a little bit later on in the show. Get your comments in. I'm sure everyone's having a boss time. And just a little reminder, I'll remind you later on in the show as well, but the instant match reaction is following on from me, Chris and Dan in the studio, having a chat through the game. A little bit more in depth and focused on that, and the final word show to come at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, both live on redmenplus.com. And if you sign up as a club captain on a monthly subscription and use the code Salah in there, you get it free for the month. That's how happy I'm feeling. Have Redmen Plus for the month. See how it fits you. Because if this is anything to go by, it could be quite an exciting end to the season when we all thought all was done, dusted, and hope was dead. Who knows? But yeah, even if it's not, we'll cancel you through it. Right, just to give you a lowdown on the game, before I get into some of the comments in the live show chat, I've got some on Twitter, I've got some from the Club Legends. We're bringing all of them in due course, but just the timings on things. First goal of the game scored by Cody Gakpo on the 35th minute. Mohamed Salah made it 2 in the 39th minute. Luis Sinisterra, at 47 minutes, capitalising on a mistake from Konate, did give us a very, very little wobble for the moment. Before 5 minutes later, Diogo made it 3-1. Great ball through from Curtis Jones for that one. Mo Salah with the assist from Cody Gakpo makes it 4-1 on 64 minutes. Liverpool make a raft of substitutions as the game gets on later on. Diogo Jota makes it 5-1 with a wonderful strike from the edge of the area on 73 with the assist from Jordan Henderson. Sorry, this is when the substitutes come in. Diaz makes his welcome return to the side on 81. Milner in for Henderson. Nunez in for Salah, Firmino in for Jota, and then a couple of minutes later, Thiago in for Fabinho before Darwin Nunez with a peach of an assist from Trent Alexander-Arnold in the 90-plus minute. Makes it, choking on my own saliva, I'm not excited, made it 6-1, and that is how the game finished in terms of looking at the momentum chart in this one. Leeds had a couple of decent moments. You'll be able to see the blue bar down the bottom basically represents Liverpool's attacking sway. I'm sure we'll get that up momentarily. And then the green on the top is Leeds, and you can just see basically Liverpool's attacking momentum went build, goal. Slow. Build, goal. Build, goal. It was perfect. That shows a mastery of control of the football match from Liverpool, being able to speed it up and score the goals. And that, obviously we had some decent possession. It was a little bit loads of possession, too little penetration. All foreplay and no. It was a bit Channel 5 in the late 90s, early 2000s, after 11 o'clock at night, if we're being perfectly honest, in the first 25 minutes, half an hour of the game, and then Liverpool went up through the gears and scored the goals in a big way. Right, I will get to some comments. We've got a couple from the Club Legends here. First and foremost, from Jennifer Tompos, who says, hey, Trent, the midfielder we maybe already knew we needed, but weren't ready to admit it. The football felt like it was flowing again. Yes, Jennifer, totally agree on that one. And look, everyone's been saying it for ages, and I've seen an interesting thing because we saw him effectively playing a double pivot alongside Fabinho, but we played it also for the vast majority of that game because we had so much possession. Andy Robertson left of a back three. Mad, it's totally unorthodox compared to what we've seen. An evolution. We've seen Arsenal play a bit like this, Man City play like this as well. The top teams are clearly playing in this way. And I heard a point actually by Neil Atkinson the other day that, if you're going to play like an inverted fullback, you're seeing like John Stones moving from defence into midfield and doing a really good job of it. You see Zinchenko doing it for Arsenal. We might have the best one. And, sometimes you don't want to be the one late to the party. You want to be the one innovating. I genuinely believe this was the plan. We've been trying to do this all along, but then Konate gets injured before the season kicks off. We've had loads of midfield injuries. And then the mood and the form is just in the toilet. And we've been playing against ourselves for the rest of the season. And this feels like, this is what we were hoping to do. It's very, very, very encouraging indeed. I'm going to read this next comment from Josh Hall. who says, come on, work. Hey, Trent and Gakpo were top class tonight. That energy and desire is what we've been dying for all season. The big test now is, can we back that up against Forest up the Reds? Yeah, exactly. Look, one game at a time. Boring. But we've been getting lost in like Liverpool. It's got to be big things and big movements and big strides. Just win some football matches and see what happens after that. That would be magic if we could do that, to be perfectly honest. Okie dokie, next comment from Metal Phil. My boss is a Leeds fan. I have a feeling tomorrow will be a good day. Great performance from the lads. Hopefully this time they can build on it. There's been too many false dawns this season. Yes, absolutely, completely agree with that one, my friend. We got another one here from Anthony Robb. Mate, I agree with Klopp. Best performance of the season. Hang on. Cody and Trent were great. Jones good too. Which right back are we signing in the summer? That's what I mean. We might not need a right back. We might just need more lads who can, midfielders who can also cover at right back if needs be. Might be the answer. They're getting the stats up on Sky right now. Possession lost ratio in his last two games has halved from 26% to 13%. He's playing a third more passes, 5% more passes into the final third, creating double the open play chances created, and his expected assists has nearly trebled, or more than trebled actually, from up until April 9th and in the last two games. Small sample size for the second stuff, but very encouraging from Trent indeed. Red, I always get this wrong. Is it Redian? Sorry, La. It's Redian. Sorry, I've just seen who it is. I hear it. Gakpo looks an incredible signing. Strong, fast, composed, great to watch. Absolutely. It was great to see a little cameo from Bobby as well, wasn't it, to be honest? Because we're going to miss him. He's absolute magic, but I want it. And seeing the new lads, the new generation, doesn't half soften the blow. Martin Walls, who just has to say it. Somebody's got to do it, and I'm sure there'll be other people doing it, because some people's way of dealing with happiness is to remind you that things could be shit again. Martin Walls 7. Let's hope we don't do the same now, like after Bournemouth and Man United. Let's push on, Reds. Absolutely. We had this when we beat Man City, and then did we win the next game? But then we lost to Forest and Leeds. Yeah, look, every chance. But let's just enjoy the fact that we've just gone away from home and win for the start, and then we've gone away from home and won well, which is absolutely brilliant. We need more of that in our lives. Stuart Armstrong kind of has it here, to be honest. Maybe with the right balanced approach to this, saying trying so hard not to get too hyped, allowing Trent to operate as a roaming playmaker of sorts is doing wonders for our output, and long may it continue. That last 40 minutes was as good as I've seen. Exactly. Look, this is what I mean. This is what footy is. Find the joy where you can and trust, that they're going to get the win at the end of the day. But so few teams, like at best half of the teams in England get to win every weekend. And often it's much less than that because of, draws. You've got to find your enjoyment in football where you can. Ethsham Ul Hassan here. I'll have to take your word for this one, mate. Saying that's so weird. The 3-2-2-3 formation doesn't only work on FIFA. Is that a big one? Is it? Does it really? Can you set it up so that it's like that, or is it just a standard? Trent would just stand in midfield, or can you do it such that in defensive shape he drops into right back? Because like the old tactics you could do on Pro Evo, you could make them do weird things like that. But yeah, interesting. James Lim says, this new Trent role is so good for him. Yes. Rants and Rambles, who is a new YouTube member. In fact, we can show our YouTube members board right now, can't we, Aaron? Yeah. Hi. Get your name on the YouTube members board if you want to join. It can be on there. Isn't that a really cool place for it? Yeah, it's fine. Yes. Rants and Rambles. Canate and Liverpool didn't let the Leeds goal affect them. Obviously, the result is amazing, but that's a really good takeaway. I totally agree with that. Because I think Joe Gomez has got a role to play still for Liverpool because of his recovery pace. I think you could see him get game time in that Canate position because he's played right back and he's played centre-half. I think if he can get over his confidence issues, but that's the thing, I've seen Gomez make that mistake this season and crumble. Canate just took it in his stride, and I thought I agree, that was absolutely excellent. Lee Constable here, wow, this might cover my entire face here. Let's see this one. Oh, hey! Mate, what a performance. Some real impressive performances tonight. The Liverpool we've known for years tonight, the real Klopp Liverpool. Trent amazing in that role. My biggest take from this was Jones. He was phenomenal tonight. The touches, it doesn't fit on the screen. That's why. Let me see if I can get the rest of it up so I can just read it to you. Pardon me. Is phenomenal tonight. The touches, turns, passive and positive movements, a little run of games and some confidence has shown the side of him a lot of people knew he had that we hadn't seen before. I think we have seen it before. It's been so long since he's been fit enough to play a run of games for us that you forget, you just do. Again, those people the other week going, we should sell Thiago, and then he comes back in and you're like, oh my God, Thiago, it's just fabulous, isn't he? And again, people saying the similar about Diogo Jota. You need all kinds of different lads in all kinds of different situations. You don't want to be in a situation where you're scraping the barrel or you're throwing kids. Like Bacchetta's just been a wonderful addition, and it's not luck because obviously Liverpool have recruited him and trained him up. But we kind of touched lucky that he became ready as quickly as he did after so few appearances in the team. You don't want to rely on that. You want guys who've been in and established and settled and with room to grow as well. So yeah, we definitely have a bit of that. Ben Jones says, yes, what a game, and I want them to take the confidence and the scoring from this game and really go on a run. Liverpool playing like that, no one can stop them, and that is a fantastic start, absolutely. We got some good ones here. Let's see. We've got Dickie Oi Red. I'm going to read from Scott Hawkes momentarily after that. Dominating a team and winning the game is a nice change. Yeah. Few errors, yes, but overall a really good performance by a team on the ropes. Yeah, look, we said before, we haven't scored a goal against the bottom 10 away from home this season. I think I might be paraphrasing that stat. It might even be worse than that. So as much as it's Leeds. I mean, Leeds beat us at Anfield this season at home. Like, people don't do that, and they did that. I just don't think we can take anything for granted at the moment, good or bad. So we should enjoy it being good, because it's been miserable. It's been fucking really miserable for weeks and weeks and weeks. It's horrible. So we've just played, scored loads of goals, been really well. And yes, errors, but note, even when we were perfect, we weren't perfect. Nobody is. Apart from maybe Scott Hawkes, who has sent several comments in and several super chats tonight as well. What a guy. Trent with 91% pass accuracy, 112 passes. Insane. Absolutely insane. He's a magical footballer. And again, just seeing him in that, being able to pull the strings, being able to grab a game by the scruff of the neck twice on the bounce now, that's... you can see the frustration in him when he's so far removed from the game, and his telling contributions like tackle a bit more. It's like no. It's like having a Ferrari and doing the school run in it, or going to fucking Tesco's to do the big shop. No, you want to hit the track, you want to hit the motorway, you want to really open it up and see what it can do. And this position change, it seems to be what that is bringing to Trent. Trent the leader, Trent the future captain, Trent the midfield maestro. More of that, please. I really want to just, I want to carry on with people's comments, and I'm going to be doing player rankings in a moment, so you can help me with that one pretty please. I just want to get up Trent Alexander-Arnold stats from SofaScore, which we'll just load in momentarily. You've got his heat map. Yeah, it's actually not. It's obviously there's loads more central than you would normally find them, but it's actually good to see how much of it is still him drifting out to the right-hand side. He's still doing stuff in that right channel. He's still tackling back in the right-back area as well. But just, yeah, he's all over the pitch, and he's doing the things that needed to be done. 2 clearances, 1 interception, 3 tackles, ground duels 3 of 5. He lost possession 16 times, but he had 153 touches, as mentioned by Scott. Completed 124 of 136 passes, 2 key passes, 12 accurate of 17 long balls, 2 big chances created. That's a fine creative midfield performance from an absolutely wonderfully talented footballer. And Scott actually follows up his comments just in relation to Trent, which is a cool little fact, saying most passes in a single game in his career. Wow. Absolutely amazing. All right, I'm just going to pop over to Twitter and get a few of the comments from those guys over there. United States of Scouse at State Reds says a tantalising display of what this group is capable of. Now just need to make it consistent. Absolutely. Glyn G Robbo _84. Except for the gift that we gave him, that was much more like it. Take that into the Forest match, lads. Trent was boss tonight. Looks like he's enjoying that new role. Buzzing for Jota. Finally bagging his goals, and good seeing Jones get an assist as well. Yes, all of those things. Daniel Carter, Dan _Carter 91, says Trent is a master chef in that role, and he is cooking. Fine. It's absolutely fine. Raf, okay, Raf. Please, no one say Liverpool are back. That's as Jinx does every time we have a great game. I'm going to let you in on one, Raf. Fine, feel free. Whatever makes you feel more comfortable in life, whatever helps dampen down your anxieties, everyone. But saying Liverpool are back has zero bearing on whether Liverpool play or win the next game. Now, if the players are all saying it and all believe in the hype and they're not putting the work in, that's a concern. We can just enjoy being football fans again, at least for a few days. Threads for Reds, who are sponsoring this video, said, win the rest of our games, get top 4. Sign Bellingham, go to the Winchester, have a nice cold pint and wait for this to all blow over. How's that for a slice of fried gold? Yes, absolutely. And Adam LFC 1892 says, outstanding display from the Reds. Just can't understand why we don't do that week in, week out. Also, Trent in midfield just makes sense, doesn't it? More of that, please, lads. Look, Liverpool have been fighting against all kinds of things. Early stage of the season, I think injuries and then fatigue, physical and psychological, and then more of that as the season progressed on, but more injuries and more injuries and more injuries. And the players who played loads of games, more games than they should have done last season, were forced to play more games this season than they should have done as a result of injuries to players who we really could have done with, the ones in the prime age or the ones we've bought to help take the burden from them. So you find Fabinho and Henderson and Thiago playing, and then an 18-year-old kid in Bacchetta's playing more football than they should have done because of injuries. It's a shitter. We're here where we are. It's a season that's going to fall below expectation. Of course it is. But yeah, look, all we can ask is these lads go on the pitch and give their all and try their best to win individual games of football for us. There's 8 more chances for Liverpool to give us some happiness, and maybe they might even give us a happy ending at the end. But we'll judge what that is, and I think I will make our bed and peace with Conference League or Europa League if we have to, provided Liverpool shows what they're capable, what they're made of between now and the end of the season. But look, let's not worry about that now. Let's enjoy this one for the next day or so, and then we'll walk about Forest, and then we'll have that conversation again after that. I've got loads of comments here. I need to make sure I'm not missing any huge ones. In fact, I will come back to the super chat. So I want to say, Stu, before I do, actually, I'm going to put Stu Bissett on the board. Daniel Fonseca, Craig Tebbs have all sent super chats in as well. So I will come to your super chats in a moment. But Stu Bissett. Stu Bissett. That is horrendous writing. But big love to Stu. Right, cool. I'm going over to the board and then I'm going to read some more of the comments. So keep your comments coming in the live show chat and the Club Legend Discords as well. And I'll be back to the comments board in a moment. But yes, let's go and rank those players. Yes. Hi. Right. Okay. This is all good stuff. Let's get through your comments on all of this. So the rankings are pretty simple. They were either boss, sound, or you're messing. You're messing. Can you guess which of the Red Men team suggested that as a potential name for the third place of it? Let me know in the comments who you think that was. Right. Okay. I'm going to start with the goalie. I thought Alisson was sound. I don't think he had lots to do, to be perfectly honest. Nothing he can do with the goal. Distribution was fine, made some solid stops and things. It was a very welcome game where your goalie just gets to turn up, do the basics that are required of him, and then get off having seen his team win. Boss. Virgil van Dijk, I thought was fine. Thought he had a sound game. Honestly, I think obviously he nearly gets an assist and that would push him up. I'm fine with Virgil van Dijk just having some solid games of football. The burden was taken off him. I thought his passing range was pretty good. I thought he was pinging it around in the first half, trying to make things happen for us fine. I thought it was a sound performance from him. Ibou Konate. Here's the first interesting one. I want to know what you think for Ibou in the comments, please. Because we win 6-1. The reason there's a 1 is this guy. So he makes a really silly error. He just dwells on the ball too much. He gets caught out, he gets pressed, gets tackled, and Liverpool concede the goal, and Leeds put us under more pressure than I think we really wanted. We could really have done with a clean sheet just for the vibes, and the +6 instead of +5 would obviously help. Does that knock him down, in your opinion? Dan Nguyen, in the comments there, says lower sound. That or he's telling me to be quiet. Ben Jones, is there. Ibou in the lower sound bit, says Steve Ryder. And Ben Jones says Ibou is between sound and boss because of the mistake, just a lack of concentration. Dickioi Red says Ibou was solid, 1 error, does not shite make. Love that. I think I'm going to put him there. Just above, yeah, somewhere between sound and boss, because I agree. We can see the goal because of his mistake, but actually I think the way that he conducted himself before and after it was brilliant. I thought it was a really, really good Ibou Konate performance. I'm happy to revisit that. My immediate reaction was, honestly, because I'm a bit churlish like this, was just to go boss, because I thought actually his overall performance was boss. In fact, you know what? Right, sound. I got a second. Stu Bissett has just joined us and a member with his comment. Cheers, 46th birthday this week. Still miss Rushy. Imagine him with Trent service or Trentham service. Gotta love an autocorrect. Right. Okay. I'm putting Ibou in. I'm putting Ibou in sound. I'm also gonna. I don't know. I'm just gonna turn this light that way a bit more because it's really dark here. So that. I'm happy with Ibou there. To be honest, Trent Alexander-Arnold, ladies and gentlemen. Trent, the man, the midfield legend. I am undoubtedly putting Trent right at the top of boss. No messing, no fuss, no muss. Hardy, it's David, says Trent boss. Simple as, yeah. Oh, Christ, they're coming in thick and fast. Trent super boss, says Steve Ryder. Oh, God, they're coming in too fast. I'm clicking all kinds. Don't even ask. Stick him so high up that list that you can't see him. Trent. Happy with that? Mainly not because I just want to see his face, to be honest. There we go. See him a bit better when he's like that. Trent. There we go. Made up. Perfect, says Steve Ryder. I think so too. Okay. Next, Andy Robertson. Thought Robbo was sound. Same as them. Did his job, performed the function. Again, he had to be more restrained, but even he chose his moments, he picked his moments. He's vital to what we're doing at the end of the game. Still energy, still impetus, picking his battles, picking his moments. He's one that if Liverpool are changing system, if they're changing how they play, in the long term, it might not suit Andy Robertson. But you wouldn't see it, you wouldn't know it from his attitude or the way he conducted himself tonight. He might have to change his assist competition with Trent. I mean, there's a chance he's probably going to win it this season, unless Trent really presses on in the last 8 games, which is possible, by the way. But I thought it was sound from Robbo, I'll be perfectly honest. Ben Jones says Robbo was high end of sound because that pass to Gakpo to create that goal. To hear Red, Robbo was sound, used his legs, as Chris said he did, yeah. Fabinho, I thought Fabinho, again, sound, fine. Maybe just slightly edging towards the lower end of sound. Still looks a little bit slow and a little bit leggy. But when you've got Trent buzzing all energy all around it, again, this is the thing, just for the sake of argument, Alisson, Van Dijk, Robertson, Fabinho, just got to have a game of football. Great. You know, there'll be times when you need everyone at Boss across the board. Sorry, Trent. Everyone across the board absolutely smashing it, pulling up trees, greatest performances of the careers. But in reality, we just need to get to a level where everyone's here and 2 or 3 lads stick up and be the things that stand out, and there's more to come. And ultimately, the point as well is that we handle Leeds so well, particularly with our press, that these lads didn't have loads of work to do. Curtis Jones, I thought Curtis Jones was boss tonight. I did. Maybe not, you know, I'm joking halfway down with him. I thought on that kind of level, I think he gets his assist. I think the bravery to take charge of the situation and to pick the right pass as well. Because when he picks the ball up, obviously he could leave it, but he doesn't. He's like, no, I'm getting this. Salah's making the run to the right, and he's got Gakpo around him as well. And there's a little situation there where the obvious one is like the easy ball is Salah, and then Salah can then take a touch, and maybe Salah looks to whip it across, or he's got like gets squared up and takes on a man. But no, he trusts himself and he plays the ball into Jota. I really like Curtis Jones' performance. I think Curtis Jones is a baller, and I've been saying this for a long time, and he's been very unlucky with injuries, and he might not scale the heights. I've no idea, but I've said this plenty of times before. If he just needs to be here. Curtis Jones needs to be able to get himself in the side and get into a regular, consistent level. And if every now and again he just drops into lower sound, into your messing period, once in a blue moon, but equally balances that out with some boss performances, then we've got ourselves a really good footballer there. Stuart Armstrong says, Jones, boss, best performance from him this season. I reckon so, yeah. I think it's a pretty low bar, if I'm honest, but I think he did. Steve Ride says, boss, Curtis, great game. And then this one from Dickie O'Red, Curtis looking good, 2 games in a row. Okay, let's move it on to Jordan Henderson. Another one, sound. Absolutely sound. And look at the regular names in here. These are the lads, right, who've done the hard yards for Liverpool. The ones who were like heading towards those, like the later stage of the Liverpool career, some slightly more than others, have run their legs off for the cause for Liverpool for years. And I'd be interested to see how this all pans out, but I'm seeing a theme developing in this one. And it might be a little unfair to only put, I think I'll put Salah there between sound and boss, because look, he gets goals. And he's our main goal scorer. He scores a couple of goals, nearly gets 3, puts the ball in the back of the net 3 times on the game. I thought he performed functionally really well, and then he almost got to be. They were doing a big analysis bit on Monday Night Football on Erling Haaland, and it's like, what does an Erling Haaland goal look like when he peels off to the back post and then he gets the ball played to him and he sticks it in? Well, Salah didn't have to do like everything. It didn't have to be give the ball to Salah and hope he wins the game for you. We just systemically worked it round to get him into positions, and Mo Salah, the finisher, just finished and scored goals. I'm absolutely fine with that, to be honest. Harry David says, Hendo had a good game, totally sound, did the hard work, kept the team up. I love our skipper. Glad he got an assist on Diogo Jota's shintacular goal as well. Yeah. Yeah. I think we had a little disagreement. Oh, yeah, actually, here we go. Stuart Armstrong makes a good point here, actually, which I'll highlight. Mental how you can score 2 and still not be in the top 3 players on the day shows what a great performance overall that was. Yeah, that's a very good point, mate. Right, let me go to Diogo. I thought that was, I think, similar, to be honest. I mean, look, they both do the biz. Probably, I'll look just ever so slightly down below Salah, because I think he really struggled for the first half an hour of the game. We mentioned it on the commentary and the watch along. His pass completion rate was really, really poor. He was toiling a little bit, but when we got a real grip of the game and our confidence started to flow and we worked them into dangerous areas of the pitch, lo and behold, the guy's got an eye for goal. Shock, who knew? All of us, because that's what he's done since he's played for us. So yes, very good. Cody Gakpo, just to get this slightly out of order, I thought Cody Gakpo was boss. Right up there, central to what we do. Link and play, calm, cultured, but then pacey and direct when we need him to be as well. Very, very good indeed. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That is our starting 11. I'll come on to the subs in a minute. But yeah, just to kind of illustrate the point that I was making is these are the lads here, the ones who've carried the team. The ones who've been there, for ages, the ones who've been doing all the running, doing all the hard stuff for us. And look, they're the ones who have been drawn in the criticism this season. So there's been criticism of Virgil van Dijk, there's been criticism of Andy Robertson, there's been loads of criticism of Fabinho, and there's always criticism of Jordan Henderson. He can't win. But these are the ones who shouldn't be carrying the team anymore. They should get to come in, put in good performances for Liverpool. And some people like Van Dijk, years left in him at the top. He should be able to play every week. We might be reaching a point where Henderson can be used a bit more sparingly. Maybe same goes for Robertson, Fabinho, etc., etc. But look at the lads who did shine. Konate, 22 years old, 23 nearly. Trent Alexander-Arnold, 24. Curtis Jones, 22. Cody Gakpo, 24, 23. Mohamed Salah getting to use the platform of these other people to score goals and shine. And Diogo Jota, another one, 26 or whatever. This is what it should look like. This is what evolution of a football team looks like. And then you throw in, I don't really want to give a rating to Diaz. Fine, I'll just put him in sound because it's great to have him back. James Milner did a sound job coming on as well. Thiago, sound. Darwin Nunez gets a goal. Go on, we'll put him up there. And Bobby Firmino sparkles as always. There's too many sound lads. Let's put Diogo up higher, put Mo up higher, and then put Bobby Firmino in there. Why the hell not? Wonderful. Absolutely glorious, magical, wonderful stuff. Everyone above the line, as it should be. We can handle one or two lads having a little struggle. We saw this with Konate, but everyone pulling in the cause. Fight, desire, and then skill and agency with which to go and take the game on and make it the result that they wanted it to be as well. I really love this performance tonight. I'm going to get back over there and read some more of your comments. Just last few comments. We've got about 10 minutes left of the show, I reckon. So if you want to get your reactions to any of the players' performances, anything that's been burning your minds and you want to really get off your chest, use the YouTube live show chat. Club Legends can use the Discord as well. And I'm going to pop over there right now. Members board. Yes. Hey. Right, go. No. Right, 3, 2, 1. Brilliant stuff. Right, cool. We've got a ton of YouTube comments here, which I'm just going to fly through. I promised the super chats as well, so I'll get to them. Livy67, who sent us a little cheeky super chat sticker thing in. Thank you so much. And then said, Liverpool, more bipolar than my missus. We've welcomed Stu Bissett as a wonder kid. Daniel Fonseca. Let me see if we've got this one pinned so I can put it up on the screen. Oh, brilliant. Thanks, Aaron. Lads, the passing was terrible for the first half. We don't need to be winning big. We just need the 3 points. Yeah, but let's do both. Eh? Sound. Aaron, do you want to just put the super chats up and I'll read them? That'd be lovely. Craig Tebbs, 199. So top 4 back on, and then Bellingham up the Reds. Whatever. Right, cool. Have we got any others? Okie dokie. What's the other 2 pinned? Sound. Right, okay. Cam here from the Club Legend Discord says, genuinely think Trent with a free roll is right up there as the best all-round player in the league. An absolute joy to watch. I'm in on that. Let's get in on the Trent midfield hype train, shall we? I don't see any reason why we shouldn't. Only minge baggery will stop us from doing that. Okay, Steve Ryder playing the role. Much, much better. Let's not get carried away. We've done that now. The next, we move on. The only way is up now for the remainder of the season. Absolutely. Rob Davies says, move over De Bruyne. Trent, the new king of the midfield. Good in. Yeah, absolutely. Think people are underrating Jones says Bruce Chua. He has all the technical and physical, shin splinter aside, attributes to be a great player. If he can improve his decision making, I think we could see a Maka regen. I have been saying this, yes, not only because he took the 17 shirt, which was the natural number of Steve McManaman before he got the 7. But I said this before, Steve McManaman was quite quick, and he had great technical attributes and stuff, but it's like in the modern game, I don't think he'd have been the flying winger that he was. Seems like Ryan Giggs, it was the same, and often say like Trent is very David Beckham. David Beckham wouldn't play right midfield in modern football. He'd have no choice but to either play as more of a DM, which he never had the tackle for, or he'd have been put as like a creative fullback. You know, that's just what it is. Football changed. I see lots of Steve McManaman in Curtis Jones, and I hope he does get the chance to show that, to be perfectly honest, and not just get really good and fucking off to Real Madrid on a free transfer. LFC Mav, love you really, Macher. Is really happy for Jota, assuming with the way Trent's now transitioning into this quarterback pseudo 6 role, we're going to have to buy a fullback and 2 midfielders instead of 3 midfielders. It depends what Calvin Ramsey is. It depends what Joe Gomez. I think we need another centre half, definitely, but I think that centre half is probably a left-footed one, so that he can do what Andy Robertson's doing a bit of. Gvardiol's the one who's been linked. And I think then with Gvardiol and Van Dijk, Robertson, Konate, Gomez, and Ramsey, because he's tallish as well, we might be all right. We might not need to buy a right back, but it might save us in the midfield sense, quite possibly. Yeah. Now we know why Trent is putting in so much time with Jude. It says Rob Davies. He was getting some pointers. Well, yes, absolutely. Right, sad. I'll do a couple more comments and then we'll wrap things up because the instant match reaction is to follow. Let's see. This one's a good one. Not like bashing your opponents when they're down. And this one comes from Stuart Armstrong. Here's a staff view. Ilian Meslier has conceded the last 10 shots on target he's faced. Lovely stuff. Dickie Red. Jones was fantastic, made up from his a real talent. Stefan Bacetic, Trent and Harvey on the left. Says Stu Bissett, big money saver, maybe. It's definitely interesting. You know, again, we just don't really know. This is the early stages of what Liverpool are doing. And I just reiterate it. No need to get too carried away. Just enjoy the football that you've seen there. It's been miserable for a while and by our own high standards for most of this season. So take the wins where you get them. There'll be another game of football before we know it, and then we can get all stressed about that one again. But it's back at Anfield. It's a 3 o'clock against Forest on Saturday, and there's now a bunch of players that we've played into form. So I feel loads generally happy about everything, life, the universe, everything. When Liverpool have won, I hope you do too. I love you guys so very, very much. And so, because I love Liverpool won, I'm going to give you all a month free for new subscribers, by the way, over on redmenplus.com. If you head to there, which is redmenplus.com, I've said it and I'll say it again, and when you sign up as a club captain, which is our monthly, basically entry-level tier, use the code SALAH. SALAH. I will, when I find the cursor on my laptop screen, I will see if I can get that up to show you what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'll give you a free month. So basically head over to redmenplus.com. Redmenplus.com, yeah, and have it free for a month. Look, it's going to be a wild month coming up. Plenty of time to check out what we do. So we do JNO Insight with Neil Jones. We do the Final Word show, which is the morning, generally speaking, the morning after games, particularly when they're played in the week. We have got Dan doing Expert Insights, gaining all kinds of incredible insight from specialists in all fields, from like transfers and agents to technology to sports science and coaches and journalists and all kinds of stuff. Absolutely brilliant stuff from Dan on that. And right now, actually, if you get it, join it up, you're going to get the instant match reaction, which is going to follow with Dan and Chris right here in the studio. Chloe's In the Ground podcast is available right now over on redmenplus.com. So go there, click the big join today button on the right-hand side, do club captain, put the code Salah in on the payment screen and get it free for a month. If you like it, keep it. If you don't, fuck it off. But we think it's really, really good. And we've got a Bobby Firmino documentary coming in the summer as well, so you might want to get up and running. If we deliver success, then we will be there to celebrate it with you. If Liverpool continue to disappoint, then we're there to hold your hand and give you the shoulder to cry on as well. And one last thing from me. Do come and get your tickets for our live event, 5th of May in Liverpool. It's the night before the Bournemouth game at Anfield. We're going to be doing a quiz, test your trivia, but if your trivia is crap, don't worry about it. How's your knowledge of singing songs? How's your ability to kick a football? We've got physical challenges, we've got mental challenges, we've got technical challenges, we've got singing challenges, we've got drinks, we've got party atmosphere, and we've got Dave Jaggs from the Ragamuffins playing some songs and having a good old party vibe at Hotel Anfield. The Friday, the 5th of May, before the Brentford game. So come to Anfield, or, you know, jump in a taxi if you're already in Liverpool, and come and party with us. Tickets are available on Ticket Quarter right now. The link will be in the description, and it's on our socials. Just search Redmen Liverpool Quiz on Ticket Quarter. But yeah, boss. I'll go because the lads are waiting to do their stuff. But yeah. Oh, one final super chat. Thank you so much. Do you want to just stick it up, mate? And the final super chat of the show goes to Craig Tebbs. Trent with the second highest pass completion this season. Tells you everything. What has Nunez got to do for a start? Work harder, be better than Diogo Jota in training, and then take your opportunities when it presents itself. That is what a hungry squad should have. We finally got options, all of them chomping at the bit. Long may it continue. Yes, anyway, up the fucking winning away, Reds, and hopefully see us all over on Redmen Plus for more brilliant Liverpool content. Ta-da.
Everyone, I hope you've enjoyed the show. Did you know that if you go over to redmenplus.com and sign up as a Club Legend subscriber, I will personally email you every single month with a new code, which gets you 20% off at redmenmerch.com. That's a no-brainer. Go and do it.